okay, in standard form. So what is your highest exponent for number 1? 2. Okay, the squared. This is what we're looking at, the baby numbers. So you're going to write 2x squared comes first. We've used it, so cross it off. What's the next highest exponent? 1. The one with just the x. Okay, so you're going to say plus 3x to the 1. What's the next highest exponent? None. Okay, it's the one that has just a number by itself, so plus 1. Where? This? No. It's a given that it's a 1, but if you don't know that it's a 1, then you need to put it. Okay, so look at 3. What's your highest exponent?
3.
Yeah, so you're going to put w to the third. What comes next?
2.
2, or 5w squared. What comes next? W, so you're going to put minus w. And comes last? 0, so the 28. No, it says write it in standard form. That's all we're doing. Today's tomorrow's going to be pretty easy, okay? Once you get the hang of it today, as far as like the other section on the bottom about the notes. Okay, so what about the next one? What comes first? What's our highest exponent? Start there. So, to the third power. So, we have a to the third power and a 2b to the third power. What's the other part of standard form tell us? ABC order. So, what comes first of these threes, A or B? A. So, A to the third comes first. Then what would come next?
B.
The B, so minus 2b to the third. Okay, and then what?
Plus 5 squared and B squared.
Yep, so plus 5a squared b squared, and last
Plus B.
2ab, so plus 2ab. Good? Okay, so that is standard form in a nutshell. It was just for a little bit of practice. This is what we're going to be doing for the next couple days, okay, is classifying polynomials. Okay, you need to know how to classify polynomials. So, a degree is another word for exponent. What's some other words we use for exponents? What?
I just had a question. So why is like the negative W higher than the 28?
Because the W is considered an exponent, you just gotta log over it.
That is the correct, legitimate answer. So, the no letters, something with no letters always goes last. Okay, so when we look at degree, another word is exponent. What's another word? When you think of powers, what's some other words you use? I literally just said it.
To the
Huh? Powers, squared, cubed. Okay, there are tons of words we use, okay? Degrees is another one of your, like, word bank that you're going to be using for words. Okay, so if something has a degree or an exponent of 0, like the 28, right? There's no letter there. So it is going to have, it's going to be called a constant. I wrote that wrong. Okay, that means just a number. Okay, it's just a number by itself. So 28, 1. Okay, there's no nothing there. Okay, if it has a degree of 1, it's going to be called linear. Okay, which means it's just going to be x, or you could say x to the 1 power. What's a linear look like? A line. Okay, remember we've done this. If it has to the 2 power, it's called a quadratic. What's a quadratic look like?
4.
It's going to be x squared, but what's it look like? It looks like a U. Remember? We have a linear, quadratics always look like a U. You just graphed quadratics. Okay, you did them on your test. You graphed them in vertex form. If something is to the 3rd power, it's called a cubic. constant. Then it has it has a hashtag sign, but it's a number. Okay, and then if it has something to the fourth power, it's called a quartic.
Wait, what is the cubic look like?
X4. What?
What does the cubic look like?
A cubic looks like,
Like a,
kind of, but an upside down. That's a cubic. So they mean something too. Okay, so when you graph, a linear, okay, is a line. It goes like this. How many times does it cross this line? Once. That's where we get the 1. A quadratic crosses how many times? 2. 2, x to the squared. A cubic goes, and it crosses 3 times. A quartic would cross 4 times.
no, 4.
Hmm?
Cubic crosses.
Yeah, I know, I drew it wrong, but it crosses 3 times. That's what makes it a cubic. Okay, so the number of terms, okay, and the number of terms, the best way is for me to just show you, but the number of terms, if it has 1 term, it's called a monomial. Yeah. Okay, if it has 2 terms, it's called a binomial. Okay, and I'm not trying to be funny, but what does bi mean?
2.
2, okay? When people say, and this is the only thing I can equate it to, but if someone's bisexual,
They're like 2 different. They're like
Or a bicycle.
yeah, bicycle means 2, that's a good one.
Bipedal.
I don't know why, but bisexual is the only thing I can think. Okay, that means
Wow.
typically they like males and
Both
females.
genders.
Okay, bicycle is another good one. It has 2. Okay, the word bi means 2. So if you can't remember, okay, bi typically means 2. Tri, nomial. What does tri mean? 3. There's a tricycle.
Quad.
I don't know if
They're like
something else that
they're like
chugs.
3 different genders.
No, it's okay. I don't know what's another thing with tri. Tricycle.
Your tripod.
Tripod. Ooh, that's a good one.
Tricycle.
I already said tricycle.
Tricep.
Huh?
Tricep. Tricep.
But your tricep, do you have 3 of something? I don't. I got 1 tricep. I don't. You got 3? You're swole. Underneath that sweatshirt. Chill, bruh. Okay, and then if it has 4 plus, it's called a polynomial.
Oh, shit.
So anything above 4 is called a polynomial.
Yep, so, and I'm going to show you what we're talking about as soon as you guys write this down. Okay, so when I talk about number of terms, Marco, that's 1. 1 more and it's getting mine for the period. I don't care. You ain't using a calculator, then I don't care. Okay, so if we look up here, when we count the number of terms, this is what I'm talking about. When I say monomial, binomial, trinomial, we got 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms. So what would that classify as? Polynomial. Okay, what about this one? 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. Trinomial. Okay, this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Polynomial. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say number of terms. Okay, so let's look down here. So on all of these, you should have 2 answers. You pick 1 from each category. So 6. What is the exponent?
Constant.
0.
It's a constant. It's just a number by itself. So you're going to say constant. And then how many terms does it have? 1. Okay, for every addition and subtraction sign you see, that separates them into different terms. Okay, so it's going to be a constant monomial is what it's called. So on all these, how many answers should you have? 2. Okay.
Wait, will the next one be a linear diagonal?
So number 9, what is the highest exponent? 1. You only pick the highest. Okay, so it's going to be a linear. And then how many terms does it have? It has 2, so it's going to be a binomial. Okay, look at 11. What's the highest exponent? 3, so it's gonna be cubic, and how many pieces? Binomial. It's got 2 pieces. Okay, what does this one say for your directions? Is it writing in standard form or is it classifying?
Classifying.
It's classifying, so make sure you read each section of these instructions, okay? So, what's the highest exponent? 1, so it's going to be
3, wait, what?
what's the highest exponent?
Constant.
No.
Linear.
Linear. And how many pieces does it have?
1.
2. So it's going to be a binomial. So look, Ethan, we got 1 piece and 2 pieces. That tells us the back part. And you guys are just going to have to flip back and forth. Okay, look at 3. What is the highest exponent? 3, so it's going to be cubic. And how many pieces?
Binomial.
There's 2, so 1, 2, so it's going to be called a binomial. Okay, look at 5. What's the highest exponent?
Why is there an A?
7.
I don't know what the hell you're looking at.
What was it, 2? Looks like
It's a 4. What's the highest exponent?
4.
4, so it's going to be
Polynomial.
nah.
What the heck?
Quadratic.
It's quartic.
Why don't you call it quadratic?
A quadratic is if it's x squared is the highest. Okay, and then how many pieces does it have?
Seems legit. 4 is a polynomial.
It's got 5,
5.
so it's still going to be a polynomial. Okay, what's the next section tell us to do? In standard form. Okay, what are the 2 things for standard form?